We can sing, we can dance, after all, this is Franz, and a dinner here is never second best. What's up everybody, and welcome to another edition of AGR's Pop Culture Reviews. Okay, I'll admit it, you guys all know how I feel about Disney and Disney theme parks. If it were up to me, I would take the Ridley initiative and I would nuke those sites from orbit. But aside from that, I know what I hate, and I don't hate this. So for the past week, I've been getting messages and messages and messages asking me if I can please review Beauty and the Beast. And to be honest with you, one of the reasons that I held off so long was because I was afraid that this film wasn't going to be that good, and I didn't want it to spoil my perception of the early 90s animated film. Now, here's the thing, that movie broke ground in so many ways. It was really the first time that Disney incorporated or integrated CGI in their animated features, and we can all say with distinction that that was an incredible film. Here's the thing guys, I am so happy to say that this film is equally impressive, and it actually exceeded my expectations in so many ways. First, I have to say how impressed I am that they actually stayed very close to the original source material. And you know what, even the things that they added really actually complemented this film. Now I have to say this from the beginning, whoever did the casting in this film definitely deserves a raise, because every single character was perfectly cast in their respective roles. From the moment I saw Emma Watson on screen, that opening shot was fantastic, and I absolutely believed her in this role as Belle. Now, one of the great things that they did with this character is that they gave her a lot more depth than they did in the original film. And you also see why she's an oddball. It's not just because she's literate, but because she's actually very intuitive, and we see a lot of her ingenuity in the film, something that they kind of glazed over in the original film, but I think it was done very well here. They also did something very fascinating with this character, and they kind of reimagined her backstory, which added a lot more gravitas and emotional weight, especially the interplay and the relationship between her dad, and even the Beast. Dan Stevens in the film was fantastic, and I really like the design of this Beast, or this rendition of it. Now, here's the thing, you don't see too much of him because he's essentially voicing this CGI character throughout most of the film. Now, I do have to mention that some of the animations and the motion captures are highly inconsistent, and they range from done very well to very poorly done. It doesn't take you out of the overall immersion, but it is still there and it's glaring at times. But overall, it was a fantastic job. What was fascinating about this Beast is that he also had a reimagining in terms of a backstory, and they actually managed to humanize him even more. He wasn't just this grunting beast, but he was somebody who had something tragic happen to him, even though he made a wrong decision, and it also plays up on a very important theme of this film, in terms of judgment and redemption. Now for me, the one who absolutely stole the show was Luke Evans' Gaston. And the reason that I say that is because he is brilliant in this role, and it's really a testament to his range. He has great comedic timing, he knows when to go dark, and let me tell you something, I don't know if it was really singing, but man can this freaking guy move. Without LeFou, there is no Gaston. And Josh Gad in this role was amazing as well. Now here's the thing, you're always going to need a side character to kind of prop you up and stroke your ego. And what I liked about Josh Gad in this film is that he didn't act like a caricature. And another great quality of him in this role is that he really used contemporary language and actually made it relevant, and it was so funny in this movie. Also, I do have to bring this up because it's very important. I gotta give props to Disney for embracing the gay community and really playing up the theme that is central in this story about love being universal and not restricted and bound by gender or any other of that nonsense. So, you know what? Props to Disney for that. Kevin Kline is one of those actors that's brilliant in whatever he does. He has an X factor about him, a je ne sais quoi, and what I really liked is he brought a lot more depth to Maurice, and something we didn't see in the original film either. And you know what, through him we see why Belle is the way that she was and is, and that made her all the more interesting. There are also noteworthy performances by the supporting cast, those actors who lent their voice to the rest of the CGI characters, like Emma Thompson, Sir Ian McKellen, Ewan McGregor, and Stanley Tucci, to name a few. Now the cinematography in this film is also great when it's not shot on a green screen, but even more impressive is the set designs and costumes in this film. They are absolutely spectacular and rival a Broadway show. And speaking of a Broadway show, the musical numbers in this film are amazing. And let me tell you something, even though I knew we were sitting in a movie theater, after every piece of music ended, I swear, that movie theater wanted to erupt in applause. What I found very impressive about this film is they included all the musical numbers from the original film while incorporating new ones, and it was seamless. It seemed like the new music had always been there. You know, I have to admit, I had a lot of trepidation going into this film because I thought a live-action version of Beauty and the Beast was going to be, well, frankly, shit. But fortunately, it really isn't. This is a spectacular film, and really kudos to everybody that was involved in this project. The anticipation and expectation for this film is almost unfathomable ever since its announcement, and that's a very tricky thing. But there's a reason why people have a very visceral and emotional connection to this film, because it truly is a tale as old as time. Many of the themes in this film are a universal aspect of the human condition, about tragedy and loss, and finding redemption, but most importantly, looking underneath the superficial, and the fundamental understanding that love truly is transcendent, and it won't be bound or shackled by the contrivances of the contemporary or the corporeal. Alright everybody, so that's my official review on Beauty and the Beast. As always, I thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next AGR's Pop Culture Reviews.